Stories transport kids into a completely new world. Reading a story to a child triggers their imagination and helps them relate to characters that they may never encounter in their lives. Stories and characters are a great way of propelling educational success in children. Apart from describing the world around them, it piques their curiosity, builds vocabulary, and gives them an outlet to communicate more. Bedtime stories are generally filled with characters that get kids to relate and draw inspiration from them. They also help foster the bond between parents and children, reduce stress levels, reinforce literacy skills, and improve mastery of language. Moral stories teach kids valuable lessons and help them learn essential life values. The story of the greedy dog in English is one such story that teaches children about the ill effects of being greedy. With a dog as the central character, the story is a powerful tool to teach children the damaging effects of greed on one's life. The origin and history of the story of the greedy dog are traced back to the Persian era. Research and studies show that it was part of the collection of stories compiled by Abdul Fazl, a confidant of Emperor Akbar. The story is also a part of the Aesop fables that enforces greed as the reason for pain. The greedy dog can be classified as bedtime or moral story. There is an underlying moral about how one can invite doom on themselves if they are too greedy, and it will also showcase the importance of being wise when there is a shortage of things. The story primarily revolves around a dog. The dog is the central character in the story, and the story revolves around its trials, experiences, and personal traits. The dog is the pivotal character in the story and is the central subject who teaches children the values the story wishes to communicate. There once lived a dog in a village. He was always hungry and looking for food. The dog was also very greedy and was never satisfied with what he had or got. The dog kept wandering everywhere, searching for food, and could never get content. Each time the dog got food, he would promise himself that he would be happy with what he had and not crave it anymore. But within a few seconds, he would forget the promise and try to look for more food or grab it from another animal. One day he was wandering and searching for food as usual. A river flowed by his house and a bridge was there to help everyone cross to the other side. He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side. He looked all around but could not find anything. Suddenly, he spotted a bone lying outside a small hut. The bone was big and juicy, and he ran to grab it and held it tightly in his mouth. He thought he would cross the bridge and eat it at leisure at home. He was afraid that if any of his friends or other animals spotted the bone, they would also want a share of it. He wanted to devour it all by himself. As he was crossing the bridge to go home, he saw another dog holding a bone in its mouth. He noticed that the bone looked as juicy and big as the one he had. He began to think about how lucky he would be if he got that bone to eat too. He started thinking of ways to get the other bone from the dog in the river. He barked at the dog, assuming the other dog would immediately throw the bone. The moment he barked, the bone in his mouth fell into the water. He also fell into the water in surprise and flowed away till he was able to get onto dry land. He then realized that the dog he saw was not another dog but his own reflection. He regretted his action and realized it was a big mistake to be greedy. He had to return home without a bone and nothing to eat. He realized he had paid a heavy price for his greed. He learned his lesson and promised himself he would no longer be greedy. The summary of the greedy dog is simple. Greed can make one do foolish things and lose whatever we have in our hands. In the story, there was a dog, and he was very greedy. One day, he found a juicy bone near a bridge. While crossing the bridge, he thought he saw another dog holding a bone similar to his. He didn't realize it was his own reflection in the water. He barked to scare away the other dog and snatch his bone, but lost his own as his bone fell into the water. He had to go empty-handed because of his greed. The moral of the story is, we should not be greedy. Greed is a curse and will make us do things that are not the right choices. Greed makes us selfish, short-tempered, anxious, and also jealous of others. It is foolish to be greedy in life. One must be content with what one has and not tempted by the possession.